Good evening to you all, my great and wonderful friends around the world. I must appreciate your sincerity in this community because in TBC, I've come to realize that we really love each other, especially those who know what we are all doing together, especially those who understand the concept of what we are trying to get going with. This is me, Amici Eke, broadcasting from Ebonyi State. It's always a pleasure trying to air out our opinion, trying to get going with this wonderful opportunity that has come to put smile on all our faces. Once again, I'm welcoming you. I just have to use this very brief opportunity to apologize for being at least away for a long time now. It's been tough, I must say, battling with series of challenges, both health-wise and otherwise. And I must have to confess that I have something touching. Though I've been saying this for a while, but I never really know that someone else will put it across in the way that it makes more sense to me. And that is this saying that TBC is not the solution for every single problem around the world. There are too many problems out there. There are so many. But we want to understand that TBC is not a solution for all these problems. The statement or the saying hit me hard. Yes, it hit me on the right spot because recently I lost my mother-in-law. That is exactly a week today. Despite all that we battled just to make sure that the old woman was up and doing, eventually, unexpectedly, the woman went away like that. It's really painful. When I was listening to Randy Wilson, his broadcast number 215 to be precise, yes, I heard that statement and he made serious impact on me. He also took his time to analyze what was happening around the world. Yes, talk about Mozambique, talk about New Zealand. He also pictured what the Venezuelans are passing through, especially because of what is happening in their economy. So most of times when we look around and see so many things going around, it's not as if we are using TBC to replace many things or everything. But the issue is that when we look at the good we stand to gain, when we look at the wonderful opportunity that the community, that single idea from admin's head, the thing is going to do for those who truly believe in it is always wonderful. And when I look around and see that there are so many opportunities around the world, but TBC, I must tell you, TBC surpasses them all. TBC surpasses every form of opportunity you can think of. When you look at being the sincerity in there, that is one thing that is putting so many people away. That is one thing that is getting so many people confused. Yes. How can you be sincere to this very level? How can you be truthful to this extent without having something fishy, without having something that you're hiding away from the public? How can you be this transparent and expect people to believe you? That is the problem. That is the only thing I noticed that has been the major issue why some who may claim to know more than the admin, that is the area, that is one thing they're hanging on. So if you're among TBCians, I will say count yourself a privileged person. You don't just become a TBCian just by mere saying. You become a TBCian by knowing the concept. You become a TBCian by trying to see the core value of what you are doing. You see, true love respect, and sincerity. We know that no matter how hard we may try to bring things to suit our own form of belief or the way we want things to be or happening, sometimes the reality on the ground may not just permit that to work exactly the way it is. But when I look at the whole scope about this thing called TBC, the billion coin, the community is such a wonderful one. And instead of bowing down or stooping low to majority demand, what are they demanding? Many people in the community, they want TBC to just become ordinary, just like every other things. Okay? They want TBC to become part and parcel of the market crazed, financially crazed, manipulated by the elites. But TBC is not going to do that. That is never going to happen. So when I look at what TBC admin have been trying to project before the people around the globe, is touching. And the only way we can understand that, the only way we can be able to get things going rightly is when we do our best to get the concept behind the billion coin. Look at what Randy Wilson brought out the other day. I googled it on my own and discovered the seriousness of what the admin had been saying, that we need to unite and we have to do that fast. We need to unite and have that done fast because the elites are seriously, they've taken it as a challenge to make it their aim to chip everyone come 2030. So when you look at some updates like that, many people were doubting. Some, if you go through the comments on that very article, talking about that, United Nations have decreed to place chips on everyone around the world. So many people were doubting, say, how can that be? They never know that things like that doesn't become mainstream news. Okay? So when we have most of us who are doing research, who are trying to dig out some certain things and have it projected before us, we may end up, or sometimes those who don't know what is happening, we end up pushing it back to those who are showing it to them and then start accusing them that they are just formulating different stories to make them believe in what is not real. But that is not the case. That is not the case. We've seen so many things happening. We've seen so many things happening around the globe, and of which it is pointing very well, is pointing directly that the elite is bent on just making things work for them and for them alone. The elites are bent on making things to work for them and them alone, while the rest of humanity continue to remain enslaved to their manipulations. So helping others to really get the concept of what TBC stands for what TBC can really do for man in general. Some are getting it wrong, thinking that we are preaching TBC. We are using it to cover what God can do for us. What is God going to do for us? God has so many things He's going to do for us. There's no doubt about it. Okay? God has a whole lot that has been stated that He's going to do for us. And it is only when we believe in what God is going to do for us, then we see that TBC is part of what we can get going. TBC is part of what we can use to really have our mind, to really have the love we have for each other continue to go on just like that without having any issues whatsoever. So people can be, so it's not as if we are taking it excessively or going beyond what is stated, but those who have the ability to think, they should know and understand where we are going. They should equally come in terms with the reality that God is not being pushed out of the way. Because of the God-given ability, the senses are given to us, that we can see when we look at what the admin has stated on the blogs. Most of the things there are exactly meant to benefit one and each other. So can we say that what is veered towards benefiting humanity is against God's will? So many people are getting it wrong, and that is just because of the extent to which their senses could carry them. But when they really get exposed, when they see things and desist from reasoning wrongly, they could be able to say that what we are saying here is simply the reality. And when we help people to understand the basic thing, okay, we don't want to allow them to shift us from the basic truth. Most of them are busy trying to project what is not the reality. Most of them are just busy trying to project different things that don't really make any sense, that don't really hold any water. Okay, so we so great friends, when we have things to talk about, we want to know that we know what we are talking about. We are not just being carried away by mere sentiment. We don't want just to allow emotion to get us confused. We know what we are doing and we know what we are saying. So let people come to terms with the reality and see what the elite is planning to do to mankind. So will they fold their hands? Though God will not allow them to go beyond their limits. But nonetheless, just as we can enter vehicles today to where we are going, we can't say that God can do everything and we wish, okay, I'm here in Ebonyi State, I wish to be in Lagos, and I will be then be waiting for magic to happen. If I am not then magically transferred to Lagos, I will say that God is not working. But God has provided me with the money. God has provided me with the vehicle. God has provided me with the driver. God has provided me with everything that will lead me to Lagos. And I fold my hand, waiting for God to perform magic. Let us understand common, simple thing. And let us get going. Remember, TBC is not the cure for every single thing around the world. For all the things happening, there is limits to what TBC can go. But so far, what you see TBC doing, TBC has been the best opportunity so far around the world. TBC has shown us how to stand up. TBC has given us the voice to talk. TBC has shown us what it means to be stable in life. TBC has given to us what we've been denied of for years. We've been exposed to the reality. We've seen things the way they are. We've seen the hidden agenda for too long by the elites is being exposed by the TBC admin. So people should learn. People should become grown up. People should stand up and say that enough of being treated like mere robots. We are not robots. We are humans created by God. And when we act like God, it shows that we are projecting that which stands to help everyone. Okay? So helping people to know the reality and see things the way they are and then putting a solution forward, is it bad? It is not bad, friends. It is not bad. So when you see what admin has been pushing out to us through the blog, we should be happy that we have something like that. So many people will look at TBC as being scam, but in reality, they are the one into scam because they see it as something that is going to expose that which they have been secretly. TBC has nothing to hide. And so many people are getting it wrong, thinking that the $10 or even the new incentives now is all that TBC has. Friends, let's open our eyes to reality and see that instead of TBC getting down, it is improving by day. And we don't even know what is in the offing by the time to come. So for everyone who want to really see things and look at things the way they are, I'm saying stop listening to those who don't know much about TBC. Stop listening to those who have been configured to think scarcity all their life. Stop listening to those who believe that humanity cannot make progress. We can, for sure. So, dear friends, We can't say it all, but we always use the opportunity that we have to talk about something that will lift us up. Okay? Make your time to listen to what the broadcasters are saying about TBC in the blog. Very soon, it is already happening. Different merchants are coming on board. Must have the courage to help people to come on board. Now we have so many things that we can use to help people excuse me, to help people see the benefits of belonging to TBC community. Let us stop carrying ourselves as mere beggars. We are not beggars. Okay? In TBC, it's not just about what you have, it's your ability to reach out to others. Until you get that mindset of giving to others what you've gotten, that is the real spirit in TBC. So, friends, read the blog. Try to start broadcasting, because I believe in you. Yes, you as a person, you have something that others could benefit from. You have something that you can give to the world. So let us bridge the gap between knowing and doing. Let us try to help people understand that the fiat system is so highly manipulated. The fiat system is configured in such a way that scarcity is all that we know. But when you come to TBC, not just every other cryptocurrencies, when you come to TBC, that is where you see abundance. That you see where you have things in quantum to really help others in need. Take for instance, in Venezuela now, or take for instance what is happening in Mozambique, that people there are accepting TBC and there is such something that can be used to help them. What about those banks that were destroyed by the flood? What about other things? By the time we start giving to them, they're kind of using TBC to help people, those who are bereaved or whatsoever. So we have so many opportunities that TBC has come to settle. So friends, when I start talking, it makes a whole lot of impact. Talking about what I know, talking about how to get my message across to people and let them understand that TBC is not here to replace what God can do for us. TBC is in along trying to make things, helping us to see things exactly the way they are. Let us try to understand things clearly and stop allowing mere emotional outbursts to get us confused. Okay? Those who are against TBC today, they are doing it on their own just to see to it that they strangle it or they do not allow it because they don't want to see it become exactly what it wants to be. But it's already too late for such ones. TBC is it's not against anyone. TBC is not against the government. TBC is not against any firm. But TBC is a private community that has come to stand on its own, showing us the better and the best way of having things achieved. The best way of doing things that could benefit everyone. Okay? So when we realize that we are in for something great, such as in TBC, we will not allow anybody, be you who, to talk us out of what we've come to know. Make your time out, listening to what the great broadcasters, many voices around the world talking about TBC. Read the blog, and again, try to do what the broadcasters are doing, because you too, you have a mouth. Read the blog and get educated and help people to see that you've been moved to say what you're saying. So, great friends, I remain my humble self from HEAK, and from time to time, we'll continue to discuss and talk more about these opportunities that have come to change things for the better. So many things are still in the offing. So, friends, make the opportunity to do the right thing. Talk to others about TBC and help them to embrace the abundance. Please subscribe to my channel and like it and share it. and help us to continue to do the right thing here in TBC community. I love you all. Take care. Bye-bye.